Well, hello there and welcome back. Last week I put a few Corona videos out and I did say that I'll do an update. Today's the update, which is going to take us up to the 29th of March so we can see what's been happening. So the first thing I need to do is have a look at shopping. Has shopping actually improved? I know my haircut's not improved, Captain Caveman. But let's have a look, see what's been happening in Asda. First thing I noticed when I arrived to Asda is people are hanging around and they are keeping a nice gap between each other, which is very good. But we have people which are hopefully shopping for the week, but they are stacking the trolleys quite heavily, as we can see here. I don't know, I just thought that people are just getting a week shop, that's it for her, and then hopefully next week she'll do it again. Family of four, that's a reasonable shop for a week for family of four. I love that you've got a husband there. But there we go. So some of the places in Asda are now refilling, which is good. So if you have a look at the milk, this was completely empty a week ago. Now it's stacking up nicely. There's a good selection there. Some products are not there, so for example Bob, but you can get your green milk, your blue milk. Didn't really see any red milk, but there is some organic milk there. So if you're used to things like Bob, get your organic and you'll be fine. Lots and lots and lots of tomatoes and fruit and veg in general. It's a crazy situation where in this pandemic you'd have thought most people would be going for fruit and for veg, and they're not doing, they're going for toilet roll and treats, But just to point out, lots of tomatoes, lots of fruit and veg generally. The toilet roll is making a return. There are some there. Unfortunately, there's not a great deal there, but at least people now can get a share of the toilet roll that they're going to need. And we do have the return of the tin tomatoes, which is good, but once again there's a lot of shelf space around tins and something that's going to last for quite some time. There are quite a lot of empty spaces, shall we say. But generally speaking, things are actually improving in Asda. I think if there's any problem at all, it's going to be the fact is that people are still to a degree panic buying. The other two trolleys look quite full, but this one particularly looks incredibly full. But it's the way that it is. So I'm just hoping that people are buying considerately. We don't know, you could have 10 kids, but if it's not, let's all keep it calm. So the only thing I did was just fill the bag up with the essentials, bit of gin, coffee, tins, that sort of thing. That was enough. But equally, the star of the show has been Aldi. And as we can see, there's lots of sauces, pasta's there, there's still no pasta in Asda. You've got all your pasta sauces back, that's looking pretty good, as it has done really, even during the massive panic buying. They have been doing a good job. Lots and lots of milk, good variety again, lots of juice at the top, once again another good variety. We have lots of chocolate biscuits, remember people having squabble over biscuits for the kids and stuff. Aldi, loads. And once again, as we compare to Asda, the shelves are quite empty for tin stuff. In Aldi, that's a great selection considering the circumstances. Equally, looking at toilet roll, lots in there, and equally, if there was no toilet roll, they have got loads of kitchen roll, so no shortage there. In fact, I went here, there and everywhere in Aldi, and the only two things where I really couldn't find was sanitizer, which if you do go, ask them at the till for, it's now on the shop floor. And the other one was flour. This was the only gap which I could see, which is where flour goes. So there we go, so that's it for shopping, it's improving. We still don't need to panic. And Aldi's still a bit of a winner compared to the big places like Costco, Asda, Tesco's, Morrisons. Aldi seems to still be the place to be. And what was interesting about today is that they didn't seem to have any food restrictions on, where a lot of other places still do. And this is Lidl, which was up near our prey. If you need your shopping, don't mess around. Remember, every time you go out, you're risking catching the virus. So, Aldi. So the next thing is how is the UK now being impacted? Last week we seemed to see that the number of cases was growing slightly. Recoveries was pretty much flatlined, even though we had some, which was good. And obviously we're getting a lot more cases, deaths, but recoveries, and that seemed okay. The problem was we was told not to go out. The pubs are closing, the restaurants is closing, So many people went out. They went out for the last drink, went out for the last meal. It was a nice weekend. Some people went out to, festivals, flower shows, things like that. It's only human nature. How human nature is to go, "Urgh." But if I put a button somewhere and said, do not press that button, within minutes, somebody's going to press it. It's just human nature. If you tell a person that you can't do it, the first thing they're going to do is do it. If you tell everybody you've got for staying at home, which is an optional thing, people are going to go out. So looking at Worldometer, and if we put in the data for the last week, we can see that the number of cases up to yesterday went up quite dramatically, and then yesterday and today they've come down a little bit. This is reason why people went out last weekend. Don't blame people, it's just natural, but they went out last weekend. It's 5 to 6 days incubation period before you fall ill. This is the 5-day trend. Now people have been forcibly stayed in at home with the UK lockdown, and now the trend is coming down slightly. That's what we want to see. Death and recoveries, once again worryingly, we had some recoveries, but then it's flatlined at 135 again. Meanwhile, the deaths have shot up as the number of infections shoots up, and then it started to come back down up to the 29th of March. But once again, we're seeing recoveries flatlining, the number of deaths going up slightly, but this is the number of new cases, which is now spiked, and that's what we wanted to avoid. What we need this to do now is level off and start coming back down slightly. And at this moment in time, we've now got 19,522 infections with 1,228 deaths. So once again, going back to the deaths of flu, if you go back to 2015, there's 28,300, then 11,875 in 2016, then 18,009 in 2017, then 26,408 in 2018. Now that's a lot of number, and as the government said, a lot of people would have died anyway because of ill health, cancers, heart issues, or old age. So that is the number of official flu deaths, including people that would have died naturally anyway within that year. Looking at 2019, we currently have 1,692 deaths of flu. So what we need to do is compare that to the COVID-19 virus, of which is 1,228. Now we know that's on the rise, and it's going to overtake flu. But will it overtake flu for the last few years? In particular, 2018, where there was 26,000 plus cases. The government now is predicting that there's going to be approximately 20,000 deaths. This is COVID-19 deaths, but it also includes people that would have died anyway. So the prediction is that it's going to be less than the flu that it was in 2018, but we'll have to see what happens. But at the end of the day, it's not going to in effect wipe out half of Britain, which is what people are panicking over. It's just one of those things, and 20,000 casualty in what is perceived to be a war. It's not great, it's not nice, it's terrible for the families, but we're still looking at low numbers, and even possibly an average number over the last 4 years of how many people's died with flu. So don't panic. And once again, if we look at Worldometer, that's a long, much more detailed graph. And as we can see, it's gone up in stages. We've suddenly had a peak here, which is what we expected due to that nice weekend. But now it is starting to drop down. Don't get too excited, because trends are trends. This is just showing what happens on a daily basis. It's a virus, it's not going to convert to trends, so it'll probably pop back up a little bit before it comes back down. But the way it is. But on a more positive note, if we look at China, where it all began, we can see that since January 22nd, we've had the cases which then spiked, and then since then it's come down, and now we're almost on zero. In fact, looking at this, for today, we are 4 deaths with 31 cases. Yesterday, there was 5 deaths with 45 cases. So it's going down. So hopefully, it's going to take a couple of months to get to these levels, but 8 weeks is not a long time. Just stay in, stay safe, and we'll get through it all. And China was the first place to get the infection and is now showing positive recovery results and very, very small deaths and very, very small amount of people actually contracting COVID-19. So I think by now is that everybody knows is that when you're out and about, don't touch things and then put your hands near your mouth or your nose or your eyes, because that's the easiest way of contracting the virus. And is that we now know through science is that this thing can live on certain objects like cardboard, metal, labels, paper, and it can live up to 3 days. So what I do is that if you go shopping, make sure that anything that you buy goes in the boot. Then when you bring it home, wash your hands down, get the shopping, and wash the products down. Also, keep your 2 metre gap. If anybody comes to you which is within your 2 metre gap, you should automatically feel uncomfortable by now. In that case, look in the opposite direction as they pass so that you won't catch the germs. Even better, hold your breath as they pass. So as they're walking along, just and then continue breathing. This is a great way to make sure you don't inhale the virus, which is the way that it gets you if you're within the 2 metre radius, and especially when somebody coughs or sneezes as they're passing. All the things that you can do in the home is every time that you're washing your plates, if you've got a dishwasher, make sure it's on a high setting. Yes, it'll cost more in energy, but it's going to sterilise the plates, the pots, the pans that you've been using, which is going to make your home just that little bit safer. We know to wash your hands with soap and water. Likewise, if you're washing plates, plenty of soap and water. Equally, if you're cleaning down surfaces, use soapy water. If we can still have walking periods, or you're out in the supermarket and you're just having a quick nosy, put your hands in your pockets. If your hands are in your pockets, it's less chance that you're going to touch anything, therefore less chance that you're going to actually contract the virus. Equally, if you're going for a walk, if your hands in your pockets, you're not inadvertently going to touch a fence or a gate or just something that you even not realise you've touched. You know, we use our hands for comfort and stress relief. If you feel stressed and you're walking to try and get the stress off, it's so easy just to touch something and not even realise it. And of course, not forgetting, as we almost did, is be careful when exchanging money. You can live on money. It's something that we don't think of. We just throw it in the wallet and forget about it. If you get money, try and wash that down. After all these days, it is actually plastic. The coins, equally, you can wash them. Or even better, just use your card. When you use it contactless. Don't actually put it in the machine. If you do put it in the machine when you get home, wipe it down. You know, ideally hot soapy water, or at least soapy water. You know, just anything that you're in contact with, anything that comes in the house which is foreign, just treat it as though it's your hands. Give it that extra wash. So there's just a few little tips that I've been doing out and around the house. It is a bit boring being at home, but if you can work from home, that's great. If you can't work from home, doing no hobby, listen to the radio. In fact, one of the good things that you can have which really releases depression is have set the TV in the front room and then in the back room kitchen, put the radio on. Put it on quieter, but it's amazing when you walk through into a different room, you get a completely different atmosphere. Makes you feel far better. And if you're feeling better, that's going to lift the depression. So in the past few months is that we have scientists with supercomputers, with models, with trends, we're seeing what's going on in the world, and they're coming up with many, many things. Now, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor, so what we're going to do is take someone's out.
My name is Dr. Patrick Soon-Shiong, and I'm here today to present to you the science behind the coronavirus.
Now, this is a great video which is currently on YouTube. I've obviously, told you what to search for on the screen, but also I'll put the link below. It's well worth watching. So the big question is, what is COVID-19?
You've seen a lot of names: coronavirus, COVID-19, SARS-CoV-2, SARS. And they all, in essence, mean the exact same thing here. This virus is a RNA virus. What I mean by that, the genetic signature inside this virus, that little curly, is made of a RNA that can reproduce. But most importantly, the virus has on its surface an envelope or a capsule. And then you see the spikes. And the spikes form a crown, and that's why it's called coronavirus. And now the World Health Organization has created an official name. This is the latest scientific name, SARS-CoV-2. And why SARS-CoV-2? Because this is a second-generation daughter virus of SARS. And why is that important to us? Well, it's given us a head start. It's given the scientists a head start since 2003, 2004, 2005 to fully understand this family of coronaviruses, specifically SARS and now SARS-CoV-2.
Well, now we know. Secondly, how can we protect ourselves? We're told to wash our hands with soap and water, which is better than sanitizer. The question is why?
But I think what we can do now is understand that perhaps, even without testing, we can now control and prevent the spread. So let me speak about the science of soap. The viruses are not bacteria. So antibacterial soap is a myth as it relates to killing the viruses, because it has this fatty, greasy layer on its as an envelope, loves getting onto surfaces to which it will adhere, such as your hand. So your hand is a vector. But if you took this vector of the hand and understood the science of soap, where the virus has this fatty layer and the skin is the surface, detergent, straightforward regular detergent, dishwasher fluid, hair shampoo, detergent, soap, acts as a surfactant. What does that mean? It actually goes and orientates itself, these soap particles, towards the fatty layer of the virus. And in so doing, it actually orientates and lifts off these viruses and creates this clean surface. However, what's exciting about this virus is because it is an envelope virus. And that, by the way, is its Achilles heel. Because what does the soap do? The soap has an ability to crack that envelope. And if it cracks that envelope, you're able to kill that virus. So each one of us has the ability to be washing your hands and cracking that envelope and preventing the spread. This is the power and the science of soap.
Knowing this gives us a massive advantage. If we go back to shopping again, when you've done your shopping, come in, wash your hands with soap and water, then get the food. But make sure that you rewash your hands and keep the soap on. By keeping the soap on, then wipe all the packaging and leave it on the draining board for a minute or so. Then the only thing what we need to do is wipe down all the soap off the packaging. It's not going to affect the food taste, it's not going to affect anything that we've purchased. Just let it dry. Once it's been wiped, them soap molecules are going to be on there. This is going to be a massive help, because we've just seen it can't survive with soap. So this is absolutely brilliant. Once you've wiped the packaging down, rewash your hands, plenty of soapy water, at least 20 seconds, and then put what you've been drying everything down with, as quick as you can, into the washing machine. And this should help quite a lot. Now this last bit I'm not going to show you, but it's on about treatments and vaccines. The reality is they've been mixing HIV vaccine with, I think it was hepatitis vaccine. Now they're mixing HIV vaccine with flu vaccine, and it's showing promising results. It's not going to be a cure, because they just can't roll it out to anybody. It's still going to be a year before we get the cure. Looking earlier in the video, after 2 or 3 months in China, it's looking like it's gone away, which is brilliant news. So it's going to go away far quicker than what we actually get a cure for. What we need to do is concentrate on a treatment. This is what they're doing. Once again, look at that video, look it up, it's on YouTube. They'll tell you how far or how close they are to doing treatments. The treatment's going to come way sooner than a vaccine for COVID-19 or for MERS-CoV-2. So, I can't urge you strong enough, look up this video. It's well worth a watch. So that's pretty much all I've got to say. I'll probably do another video in a week. There have been a lot of recipes which is connected to the book, which are right. Give them a go. They're nice, they're simple, they're very, very tasty. It's something that you can do, get the kids involved, you know, nice and straightforward stuff. We're even putting slow cooker type recipes in there. So if you're working for the NHS, you're doing long shifts. If you're working from home, you know, just cook it overnight or else cook it first thing in the morning. Your tea's ready. It's a worry less, it's a stress less. Currently, if you're going out, make sure that you only go out for shopping or you're going out for medicines. The rest of the time, let's stay in, let's all work together. Let's have this little rainbow what's appearing everywhere to give us hope that this is going to go quickly, to get a life back to normal, to get back into the office, to get kids playing together again, to get people in the school, just to get back to a normal life, which will be a brilliant thing. So I can't stress, protect yourself, protect the NHS, stay at home, go shopping only when it's vital, go and get your medicines when you need them, and let's be safe. Wouldn't it be great if this is in effect almost life back to normal in 12 weeks? Might take longer than that, but based on China, it's a possibility. 12 weeks out of a lifetime, it isn't long. So look after yourself, look after each other. We'll probably see you in a week with an update on these videos. Hopefully it'll be even better news. And look out for the cooking videos that will be coming out throughout the week. Probably not as many this week, but we never know. Right, thank you for watching and take care.